You should be barricaded in your house and kept off of the street for sterilized, lobotomized, left in a carini. That's the things you say and do. Tell me your brain cells off a few, and that is why I hate you.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
Welcome back to the podcast after a few weeks of hiatus. We missed you.
And that is why I hate you.
You know, I forgot how much I liked that song after not listening to it for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
It's stuck in my head.
It's a part of our lives now.
It's a part.
So
whose slogan is that? It's a part of your life. Isn't that like a soap company or something?
I don't know.
I'm probably fucking totally twisting shit up. So what have you been up to?
Living in clown world.
Oh, that's
Simply
right.
living in clown world.
Yeah, you may hear our kids in the background because it's summer vacation time, which is
Yay.
part of why we've been off for a couple weeks here is because kids are home now. So, you know, we gotta make time to record and not worry about the interruptions so much.
Yeah, one of my kids has my kids, they both have smartwatches. Not that I want them to really have one, but mainly due to safety things. You know, I think I've mentioned it earlier episode. You know, they have the smartwatch so we can make sure that they're safe.
Wait, what kind of smartwatch? Like to track, like an
to track where they are. Yeah, to track where they are.
Oh, so they've got watches on for you to track where they are at all times.
Essentially, we only do it when they're at school. Well, we only do that when they're at school because, unfortunately, I can't trust the police to do their job if there's a school shooting. So I would like to know if my kids are in danger and they know how to press the buttons.
I was just going to make fun of you.
Me.
I was just going to make fun of you and say, "Oh, do you wonder where your kids are when they're in school?"
Well,
but you make a good point. Point.
That's the only reason why we did it, because I don't want them to have that. But
they just Android just released their version of the AirTag, and I had bought 4 of them, and I was gonna
put it right in the shoe.
Well, that's what I was gonna do. I was thinking about it, and then I started overthinking it, and I was just like, I don't want to be that dad. I don't want to be the dad that literally is watching their kids every move, every second.
Due to that watch, I was able to find out that my daughter's bus was an hour late.
That's true. It did work
I wouldn't
out.
have known that. Nobody would have known.
You're right.
At one point, my kids had to get off. I told the bus driver that my daughter needs to be at this house, which is somewhere along her line, which is one of her cousins. Drop her off there because I'm not going to be home.
Right.
And I only luckily got off work in time because I checked it because I was nervous.
Right.
I checked it, and the woman dropped my daughter off at home.
Okay, so you were able to see she was home when she was supposed to be there.
I was done with what I had to do at work, and I got off sooner. So, and I was closer. I wasn't like in Kingston, which was one of my issues before. Well, I was in Middletown, and I just drove home. Well, and I noticed it only because I realized the watch didn't stop moving.
Right.
At the other house.
Yeah,
it was coming here. I was like, oh no.
Well, see, I tried, and you were worried because your daughter was going to be home alone. How old was she at the time?
God. She just turned 6.
So she just turned 6. So I have neighbors that leave their 6-year-old. Well, I don't think they're 6 anymore, but at the time, 6-year-old home alone, no problem for like an hour or 2 hours at a time. Like they had to leave for work, and their kid didn't get on the bus for another hour and a half. They were like, no problem. Didn't even worry about it with a 6-year-old. I'm trying to like hold that line in the middle of like, I'm not going to leave my 6-year-old at home alone for several hours,
but I don't want to helicopter parent them.
I don't want to helicopter parent either and be like that parent that's tracking their every move and observing and watching and what's the word I'm looking for? Criticizing, I guess. Criticizing their every move, and that kind of thing.
Scrutinizing.
So,
you mean scrutinize?
Scrutinizing. There you go. Scrutinizing their every move. So I try.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But in moments like that, that's why we have it. And again, the watch for school, like my kids press the button, like however many times they're supposed to press it.
Right.
It sends an alert to all the adults that
accounts, right?
And they're like, "Oh, did something happen?"
Right.
And that's what that is for. And they both understand that. It's sort of just like, understand know what our address is. It's just one of those extra steps that obviously, unfortunately, we need to have.
Well, you haven't taken it to the step that a lot of parents take it to these days, where they just get them a straight up phone and the kid has a phone.
That's not happening. That is, I don't
smartphone
no.
they're carrying around all day, which is what most parents. A lot of parents, you actually are much smarter than that, because a lot of parents are like, well, I got my kid a phone because I want to be able to know where they are. That's like, you could do what you did, just buy them a little smartwatch that allows you to see where they are if you need to check, and also gives them the ability to get in touch with you if there's an emergency.
Oh, that's not even a me thing. Yeah, that's not even a me thing. That's a my wife thing. My wife suggested it, and I went, you know what, that's a good idea. Because for me, I would just like, I'm just going to sit here and worry all day. That's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to handle this situation.
But you're you're kind of balancing too. You're not going all the way over to like, I'm going to get my kid, my young child, a smartphone they don't fucking need.
I'm going to have an app that I can monitor it. I can open it and control it like Q from James Bond.
Do you ever check your kids' like watch history and stuff? Their YouTube history?
I do. I absolutely do.
I can't.
Yeah. I do it once in a while. I don't do it like actively. Like I only do it especially after one of them acts shady.
Okay, my son's limited to YouTube Kids now, so he doesn't have access to a whole lot. But my daughter still has regular YouTube, and I feel like I would be crossing a line if I'm checking her YouTube history. So, and then I'm like, but I'm her parent. I should be able to check her.
That line is reserved for roommates and partners.
Well, I was going to say, it's not my wife. Like that would be a definite line you don't cross. I don't know.
And your child, I don't think your daughter's definitely not like my daughter lost normal YouTube privileges because of her searches. Mm-hmm. And it's simply, I get it's curiosity, but if you're not at an age and again, it's different for ages. So your daughter could be, I don't know. Depends on
the maturity level, right?
Yeah. But if your child's not old enough to listen to simple instruction and be mature enough when dealing with certain criteria, then they should not be searching certain things because they're hearing it from their friends already. That's the reason why a lot of them search that stuff up.
And to be fair, my daughter does have a block on her YouTube where she's only able to view content that's like appropriate for ages like 13 and up or something like that.
Yeah. Plus, there's a lot of these
adult content. Yeah,
there's a lot of these weirdos. Well, for instance, this is why I feel like we have to. There's people online, and some of them are kids, some of them are adults, and it's bad either way. They're into a lot of like, because being inappropriate, it's ha hee hee, it's funny, it's interesting, it's taboo.
Sure,
but ultimately, they'll like Gacha Life is a big one, which is you make your tiny little anime doll person.
Yeah.
Well, if you just add the word heat after that. And I watched a documentary just yesterday about this.
Okay.
It's all
I don't know about this.
It's all inappropriate like sex shit.
So if you add that after the name of your character?
No, just gotcha and then heat. If you do that on YouTube, there are billions of gotcha videos that are extremely inappropriate.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And I saw that documentary and I'm like, oh, wait. My friend's daughter who's like, she's like 13. She just turned 13.
Likes the gotcha app. She likes designing characters.
She makes gotcha videos.
Yeah.
And I swear, when I was trying to fix her Roblox, I saw the words gotcha heat.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I feel like it just felt so familiar, and it felt like it was that moment.
Well, this is a good situation where I'd like to do a search on my daughter's YouTube and see if that comes up, because technically she should be protected from that content based on the YouTube settings I have in place.
It's people being dubious and just slipping shit like that in.
So now I'm curious. I'm going to have to check that later and see if it comes up.
And so the way I feel about it is if I look through the stuff, because I don't actively I'm just going to check it every week. You can do that if you want. But
right. No, I get it.
It's more so if I see it, then I'll say something. If I don't see anything, there's no need to say anything.
Yeah, I get it.
And then it doesn't come off as a, how dare you? You did this terrible thing. It's more so, now I'm going to ask questions.
No, that makes sense.
If it embarrasses you, that's fine. But if you're going to be embarrassed about it, especially when I'm talking to you about it, then maybe you shouldn't be. You need to lose access to it.
You know it's taboo. You know it's inappropriate. Yeah. If you're getting embarrassed about it, you know it's something that you shouldn't be looking at. All right.
At least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's fair. I had I just had to reboot or get a new iPad for my daughter because her old one kicked the bucket.
Yeah,
finally.
My kids told me.
Yeah, finally kicked the bucket. I had to get a new one, and I'm so mad because I ordered a mint condition one for no reason. She's gonna fuck it up anyway. Like, why did I order a mint condition? And it comes with this like gray vinyl sticker over the back of it because it clearly had an etching on it because you can kind of see under the sticker the inlay. I'm like, that's not mint.
That's
so now,
refurb.
Now I'm very angry because it's clearly not mint condition. If somebody, I mean, maybe that's not. Technically, that's damage. It's intentional damage.
That's technically damaged.
But it's intentional, but it's damaged. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was very upset. I filed a complaint.
I brought up the watch initially because I am very upset because my son, on the last day of school, lost it.
How?
And it was dead.
Oh,
so dead that I couldn't even find it. It just says it's in the school.
How did you lose it? It's the whole point is to be able to find it.
I have no idea. That day he was. I'll be honest. He was having an off day. He was just missing. He was just missing constantly. He was like, "Hey, buddy, since your birthday's in the middle of the summer, you need to hand out these invites. I just worked a few hours to make these really cool invites. Let's send them out. Let's do that." He went, "Oh, okay, buddy, they're in this pocket. Remember them. I'll remember them. It's for my birthday. I'll remember. Okay, bud, as you go, put them on the bus. Hey, bud, remember, put in your invitations. Yeah, my invitations. I know." Comes back home. And I opened it up. I look, and the whole pack is in there. And I look at him. He, like, big doe eyes, like, "I forgot." I went, "Okay, bud, well, now people might not show up to your birthday party."
Was it literally the last day of school?
The last day of school.
I don't know why there isn't an easier way to go about that. Like, why schools don't have some functionality built into the million apps they already have, like birthday invite.
Well, for instance, I take personal responsibility because it took that long for it to happen.
Yeah, I get it.
But on top of that, we just had that storm. It knocked the power out. No, that happened recently. That was during the summer. There was something else that was going on. It was something for like my medical stuff. I was running around with my lawyers. I was going all over the place. But I was busy. I was not thinking about his birthday. And then the last week shows up and my wife and I are in the bed and she looks at me and goes, "Our son needs invites." I went, "Our son needs invites." So I had to I was going through like programs trying to find out, like, I'm not spending money to make just a simple invite.
Yeah, you just design something.
I was looking at programs, and everybody wants like at least 75 cents for like.
Should have told me. I would have let you borrow my Canva account. You could use mine whenever you want. I don't care.
I ended up using
I need it for work, so it's a business expense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I ended up using a trial period of Canva.
There you go.
That's what I ended up doing.
Canva's really great for basic design, and that looks good. But yeah, you can use mine anytime you want.
Okay,
I have somebody else that uses it too. I don't give a shit.
What I ended up doing was they give the class list. So the way I ended up kind of figuring it out, and is really upsetting, is I ended up making a giant group chat. I found the school list of parent names, because they did do this for this one class that my son is in. I've never had it happen before.
Okay.
Where the parents sign up to have their numbers and email addresses.
Oh, okay.
And I just went up to him and said, "Who do you want to go and who do you don't want to go?"
Yeah, I've never seen that before. I mean, I know you can get in to Google Classroom, and a lot of times there's a list of kids in the class by name, but it doesn't usually have parents' name or contact info. Yeah.
Yeah, this was great.
We got a birthday invite for September, for a birthday early September. We got on the last day of school or so. And at first, it's like, this is, and it was like, oh right, there's no way to give them out in between. Like the birthday's right before school starts, and there's no way for them to get in contact otherwise.
Oh, I remember we had just I think we were prepping for our Connecticut trip. And I was running all over the place, and the last thing I was thinking about was, you were busy. I wasn't thinking about my birthday, my wife's birthday, or my son's birthday. We were just trying to get all this set because we were going to be in Connecticut for those 3 days.
Right, you were just getting ready to go, so that makes sense.
But
I just went up to Massachusetts for a long weekend to see Rachel Bloom's live show.
Nice.
Which do you know who Rachel Bloom is?
Not a clue.
The only reason I asked is because she, like, way in the past, she did stuff with, like, College Humor, and I think she did stuff with Cracked.
I probably wouldn't know her face. I probably wouldn't know her name.
She had the TV show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend that aired for, like, 4 seasons or something like that, which was a musical comedy show. So it was right up my wife's alley, but it was a fantastic show. I fell in love with her.
Does she play a ukulele?
No, I think you're thinking of Kate McCucci.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
But I fell in love with her as a performer based on that show, and my wife obviously did too. So we've been fans of her. We saw her at Radio City Music Hall when she did a big show there. But when I recognize your face. When we went to the Radio City Music Hall show, it was for the TV show. It was like at the end when the finale was airing. It was like a concert with all the songs from the TV show, and it was going to be this one-time thing where they had everybody get together at Radio City so everybody there were fans of the show or fans of her. So we were just surrounded by people in costumes and people who were just in love with the show. This, and Radio City's huge. This was the complete opposite. It was in this very small town in rural eastern Massachusetts, and it was a theater on a campus, and it seemed to me that it's every year they do this festival where they have live theater for a week, a month at a time. And I think what happens is the people in the community just have passes because more than half the people there were like geriatric. It was so bizarre because there were a few people there that I was like, oh, I think they were likely, I could tell they were fans and they knew who she was. But so many people there were just older people that there's no way they knew who she was or knew anything about her. But it was weird because she was filming it for Netflix. So I was just surprised that she chose this location and this little run of shows at this little film festival or arts festival, theater festival, whatever you want to call it, in this rural town to film a Netflix special. It worked out. The audience was great. Like, the audience was very responsive. Did everything, cheered super loudly, laughed at all the right parts nicely, did everything they were supposed to do. But it just was, if you did it in New York or right outside New York or LA, you're going to have all your fans will be there. They're all going to be people that know who you are. And you would have had a better audience, but it worked out. It was cool. It was neat because after the show's over, like, they just did their curtain call and then just stayed there on stage. And the director came out and was like, all right, they did pickups. It's like, okay, we need to do a shot with...
It's like being a studio audience.
Like, we got to do a shot with this spot. And I want everybody in the audience to do this. And, like, there's one part in the show, spoiler, it's supposed to be a one-woman show. There's a actor that plays Death in the show. So it's really a 2-person show. But anyway, the actor that played Death was on her show. So when he revealed himself as you didn't know, you weren't supposed to know he was there. When he revealed himself, some of the people in the audience, myself and my wife included, were like, oh shit, it's the guy from the show. And then so they had to come back out and they're like, this time, don't act like you know. Everybody act like you don't know who he is. Like,
why?
Because it's going to be really awkward for the filming if everybody's like cheering for this guy when it's supposed to be Death, and people are supposed to be like, "What the fuck is going on?" So like they did a couple little pickups here and there.
It's so weird when like moments are manufactured. I get it. It was for film.
It was weird, but
yeah.
And like there was one part that like Rachel Bloom was like, "Hey, like he's got his earpiece on. I can see it clearly. You could probably see it in that shot. Can we do the shot again? Like and hide the earpiece?" So they took his earpiece off and did the shot like that. It was 15-20 minutes. It's not like it was this long. We weren't sitting there for an hour. Yeah. And nobody cared. Yeah, it was fine.
I know. It's just weird, though.
It is really weird. But it was good because, like, she was it was obvious to her how awkward the situation was, so she was just poking fun at it. So she played it up? She was just playing fun and making fun and trying to fill the time. Like, I know this is fucking stupid, but thank you. Like, they did the curtain call second and third time, too. So, like, they did the curtain call and everybody's cheering, and then they did it again because they wanted to do it without music.
Oh, my God.
And they forgot to say action, so they did it and everybody clapped, and then they just were like, oh, we forgot to actually start filming, and, like, so we had to do it a third time. It was really awkward, but it was interesting. I've been to quite a few live filmings. I went to a Daily Show filming when Jon Stewart was still on the show. I went to 2 or 3 Conan tapings. I went
that
to
must have been fun.
A Letterman taping. Yeah, I saw a Conan episode when Weezer was on the show. I was big into Weezer at the time, so it was like a huge deal for me that I got to go and watch Weezer perform on the show.
That was dope.
Conan was fun. It was so much fun to go watch that get taped.
I hate myself for not liking Conan when I was younger because I was just like, he just looks really lame.
He was so good.
That's literally the point, and it just went right over my head.
He was so good when he was on the Late Show. I went to 2 or 3 tapings of that, and that was fun. Like, I remember going to Letterman, and everything was clinical. It was like, okay, we're gonna tell you to clap. We need you to clap. It needs to be super loud. This is where everything was very clinical and instructed, and I felt like I should have been being paid for it. And Conan was just like, we're gonna have a fucking good time. They didn't need to manufacture that because it was so good. Because
everyone was enjoying it.
Yeah, everybody had a good time, so everybody was clapping and doing what they were supposed to do. It was good. It was really good. But anyway, yeah, it's been a while since I was at a live taping or recording taping. It's funny to say taping still.
Live taping.
But I haven't in so long, so it was interesting to see that dynamic again. But it was really good.
That's interesting.
If anybody's interested in the show, and it'll be out on Netflix, I think in the fall, she said. I don't know if that's supposed to be public knowledge. You heard it here first, folks. No, I think it is. Check it out. It was really good, really funny, really entertaining. One of those shows where I didn't check my watch every 10 minutes, or I wasn't looking down to see how much time had gone by. Like, it was over and I was like, oh shit, it's over. Damn, that was good.
All right, that's cool.
So you got some lol cow news?
Oh my gosh. So
we need a jingle.
The last time I spoke about Boogie, it was when he was fighting Wings. And I didn't say much about Boogie because I don't give a shit about Boogie. I don't
know who either of these people are. So
if you're interested in early internet like shenanigans, there's used to be this video about this guy named Francis. Francis was an extremely fat guy who would just yell at, I guess what was it be his dad? And, "I'm Francis, and life sucks, and who drank my Mountain Dew?" And he was just like people didn't know if it was real or not,
right?
And that was the whole thing. He was just like the
remember early internet
fat guy.
Remember early internet?
That seems like
people still believe shit.
Yeah,
like things still could come across as real.
We're on the complete opposite side of that coin at this point. We don't want to believe anything we see, even if it makes sense.
99% of what we see, we just assume is fake as shit, and it tends to be. It usually is.
Ultimately, so Boogie got really popular, like with Facebook boomers and stuff like that, because that's what they thought was funny. Same thing with like Rage Kid, with the kid that was like so mad he ripped his clothes off and then tried to shove a controller up his butt. Like that was early internet. Ha ha he he. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
And people like Boogie. I don't like that kind of comedy. Ultimately, like I like moments like that in comedy, but not like that's the whole shtick.
Right.
But then some time passed, and Boogie was then seen as the Mr. Rogers of the internet. That was the quote that everybody gave to him, because he was always very understanding.
The Mr. Rogers of the internet. Okay.
Yep. He would like to give like life advice. It was like, look, I messed up in life, but you know what? Don't be like me. Do this. And that's just how he would do it. Then people found out that he's a cretin. He's just an absolute cretin, however you want to pronounce it.
Oh, cretin.
Where where there was rumors that he like,
I love that word.
Beat up his girlfriend, which I don't know if he ever did. I don't care either way, honestly. He used to like get prostitutes, and he made one woman stop being a prostitute because how gross he is.
She was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
imagine being so gross you make a prostitute quit.
Exactly.
Holy shit! What line is that? Like, how do you cross that line?
Well,
oh my god!
It absolutely would be a line that makes you change yourself as a person. If
I'll eat your ass out for $500, and you get to the point you're like, nope, it's not worth it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. As you pick the like, ass hair with the dingleberry out of your teeth, you're right like, teeth. I'm over this. I'm not doing it anymore.
It lightly ties on one of the better way. It lightly ties on one of the baby hairs on your cheek.
And again, no, nothing against sex work. That's fine with me if that's what you want to do. But I get there's got to be a line where you're just like, no, I'm not doing it.
And the key is that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like,
what have
this is what you have to do. So, but yeah, he's known for that. He's also, as time went on with him, he's also known for firing a live round of a handgun into the air towards a school district. So yeah, he is technically a felon.
So he's an all-around idiot, right?
Absolute moron. So yes, he's an absolute moron. But I'm not even going to give him that because he likes being called that. What I was going to say before, most people would change if they hit rock bottom like that.
Right.
The thing is, Boogie has a humiliation fetish. That's the only way I can put it. Because he loves to get sympathy for being pathetic, and he loves being called an idiot. Because it gives him an easy out, and no matter what he does, it's an excuse. Because he's
an idiot.
Yep. That's actually one of the things he's openly said. I'm just an idiot.
I'm sorry my ass made you throw up when you ate it out. I'm just an idiot. I don't know how to wipe it.
I'm just a fat idiot. I'm a pathetic fat idiot.
I don't know what I'm doing, man.
That is the way he argues. And he's manipulative like that. He did a video about the death of his mother, and just like he was in her mausoleum, just talking about how terrible and abusive she was. If she was or wasn't, I don't care because you are a piece of garbage now.
Right.
One of the newest things he did was that he did a crypto scam.
Okay.
He scammed I don't know why anybody would give him money.
Yeah, that's just stupid. I mean, when somebody's an idiot and they use that as an excuse to do stupid things, you have to assume the things they do are going to be stupid.
Yes. And he got confronted by that, by somebody who's known to expose people for crypto scams. And his excuse was, well, I'm paying for my cancer treatment. Apparently 2 years ago, he had, he announced that he had, polycythemia vera, which is a blood cancer.
That sounds like a shampoo.
It does. It really, or like one of those like medicines with the really fast, like fast talking guy at the end.
Where he tells you you're going to have anal leakage or death.
Yeah.
Side effects include possible anal leakage to death.
And it's always just like some happy woman or a gay couple like dancing on a beach, like real slow motion.
You know what? They often have a lot of gay couples in medicine commercials, and then like...
Especially about STDs. Well, it's so subliminal.
There's one that's for HIV, and it's all gay couples.
All gay couples.
And I was like...
Do you...
Wait, I
see you doing this, right?
It's not the 80s anymore, right? Like, we know that HIV affects more than gay people, right? So why are they all gay people in the commercial?
You know what gets me?
I know I'm derailing. Ultra inclusive.
Yes.
You're derailing we're tangent.
I'm derailing my own point, but I do have to say this before I forget, because I will forget. Welcome to ADHD. Dude, have you noticed that people like always seem to think like, well, racism ended at blah, 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 or this bad thing ended at blah, blah, blah. It's like, do you know that the people that were like the proponents of those bad things back then are still around? They're still alive. It's not like they just deactivated after 20 years.
That's true.
They exist. So like, and then they get forgotten and get old and become politicians or business owners, and those things still perpetuate.
That's such a good point.
What makes you think that just stops?
Because literally on Bill Maher's show on the last episode, it was Bill Maher and Jordan Shapiro, who I believe you know, and they were both arguing with this black guy about how the world they were like, you can't, because he said that like, you know, the world is worse now for black men than it was in 1954, and they're like, you can't possibly say that, and they had an argument, but that would have been a perfect argument. He could have just been like, do you think the people from 1964 are just all gone at this point? There's a bunch of them still around, like a bunch of them,
and they influence the newer generation.
You know,
they exist.
You know, the 25-year-old guys that were being dickheads and, you know, lynching people and being terrible back then, and are just old ass politicians now, buddy. Like,
yeah,
that would have been a good argument.
You're kidding me, right?
Yeah, that would have been a great argument. It's funny you say that.
But here's the thing: that's an argument nobody makes.
No, you're right.
I've not heard anybody make arguments like that.
You're right.
I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything. I'm just saying I think it's because it's being shoveled. Like, simple questions like that.
It just would have been a really good
get overshadowed easily.
It would have been a nice point for him to have just come back with, instead of them just shitting on him for 10, 15 minutes.
And I'm like, wait, Bill Maher, you're one of those old dudes.
Yeah, he is one of those old dudes. Yeah,
like you were a baby back then. You were actively alive.
He had Jordan Shapiro on the show, though, so he was teaming up with. It's like you're teaming up with the guy that's supposed to be like your mortal enemy. You know what, though? Jordan Shapiro is one of those guys that's really dangerous because he actually has, like, he speaks very well and he makes his points very well, that it's almost scary, even when he's talking about dumb shit and making stupid points. They come
because
across...
anybody can be compassionate.
Well, that's the problem. He's very compelling, even when he's talking about stupid shit. Anyway.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry. Charles Manson was very compelling when he spoke before he went to jail. Hitler was very compelling. It's just Trump is very compelling. Yeah. All these people are very compelling.
Right.
You know what? Somebody with like, God, let me get back to my original point because we'll get into the political
We'll get into
stuff.
politics.
But so
later.
anyway, so Boogie, scammed his audience, $10,000. He got paid by like a crypto investment thing, and then when he was confronted, this is Boogie again wanting to seem like an idiot. The guy was like, well, I didn't know it was a crypto scam. I don't even know what a crypto scam is. And he goes, you literally signed to a company called, no, he says, this is a pump and dump. He goes, I don't even know what a pump and dump is. He goes, the company you signed to. Yeah, right?
Okay, good.
That was a good one. The company you signed for is called Pump.Fun.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's like the bad guys. What? It's like the bad guys calling themselves the bad guys. It's just can't. Anyway.
So yeah, this guy. So he's playing dumb, and and he's doing like all these manipulative tactics. So now that he did this, people are now looking into him more. He's also known to have. Mind you, I forgot to tell you, Boogie is like 50 years old.
Not what I had pictured in my head.
He's like a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
And he has a girlfriend who's like, I think she's like 23. And she looks young for her age. And she's also like low ambition.
That's rough.
Smokes all the time. He's like, yeah, I'm dating a supermodel. I'm like, but she's mousy.
Youth
like,
doesn't equal supermodel, right?
Right?
There are ugly girls that are young.
And he's
ugly people, not just women or girls.
And I won't even say she's ugly, but I will say that she personality wise makes her uglier.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
And she's not even like mean or anything. She's just she seems like a low effort slob person.
Well, then she probably loves eating his ass.
Oh no, she definitely they deserve each other. This is her choice. Her choice is to be pathetic. I would not even be remotely surprised if they're into age play. Like that's how like in the documentary that he did, he's in a bubble bath with her. Which I don't know how they afford a bath where they can both fit into one. Like he's like 500 pounds. Dude's huge.
I mean, just get a wash
He's
bucket.
one of those guys that folds his arms like this. It looks awkward while I'm doing it.
If you're listening to this, you got to go watch the visual on YouTube. Looks like a T. It looks like the letter T.
I am sure if he wipes his butt, if his butt ever gets wiped, she's the one doing it. Like that's when I swear that's how that works.
He could have a bidet. You don't know.
It wouldn't reach. There's just no way.
Maybe he's got a full shower head. He just sticks under there.
So this man, again, he's like they're in a bathtub together, a bubble bath, and she's playing with a rubber ducky while he's washing her hair.
That's disgusting.
And I'm just like, they're just being ridiculous.
Disgusting.
I would actually suggest you or anybody to watch the Boogie documentary. It's made to make him look more pathetic than he is, and it's that sad.
Hey, send me the
just
link.
Don't fall for it.
Send me the link.
Yeah, I will. I just say don't fall for it because this is what he wants. He wants you to think he's pathetic. But the thing is, all that he keeps skipping the fact that he did to himself. He did all of that to himself. Him being a felon, he wanted to act like a tough guy while this insane person was stalking him. Instead of just calling the cops or doing anything, he said, "Come to my house and see what happens. You'll get shot." Did not have the balls to shoot the guy that was on his property, but shot into the air, potentially putting a child in danger.
It's genius.
Just genius. And then, woe is me. People make fun of me for it.
Has it ever happened where someone shot a bullet straight in the air and it just came right back down and went right into them? It's got to have happened at some point, right?
Every time I see a terrorist video of just shooting in the air, I'm just like, where's the aftermath part of that? I kind of want to see.
It's got to have happened at some point, right?
It had to have happened, right?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hilarious to me.
There's literally been a man who had a cow land on him while he was asleep in his bed. That's happened in real life.
Yeah, so
it has to have
somebody
been.
has to have shot a bullet in the air and had it come right back down on their head, part of them.
So fast forwarding back, so Boogie a few nights ago, gets confronted on his Boogie Nights. Oh my God, he gets confronted finally again about his cancer now.
Yeah,
and on his own podcast. Well, the podcast he's an employee of. And people are railing into him like, dude, you don't have cancer. This, not this. I'm not going to get into the details. You can look it up. It's all over the internet. And at one point, another guy called Mr. Medicare, who really does have cancer, like Mr. Medicare is actively dying. He is being the most charitable out of everybody. And Medicare is not known for being charitable. He is like one of the meanest dudes on the internet.
Sounds like you're saying,
I love him for it.
Sounds like you're trying to say either mediocre or Medicare, and it's coming out Medicare.
He's actually been called Mr. Medicare because he's dying. But no, it's Medicare. It is Medicare.
Medicare. Yeah, it just sounds like you're mispronouncing one of the other words.
Mr. Medicare. No, but it is Medicare, and he has been called Medicare by another lolcow. But regardless, so he comes on, he's being charitable, goes, "Hey, you know what? Boogie, how about you do this? Why don't you just show them a paper that says diagnosis on it? You could redact any other personal information on it, just that says that you have polycythemia vera."
That's easy enough to fake, though.
Not for Boogie because he's a moron.
Oh, right.
He has to produce it in the moment. And he has to produce it in the moment.
Yeah, but that's unreasonable. Like, if you asked me to go find a paper with one of my diagnoses on it,
Boogie said he was looking at it on his patient portal.
Oh, okay. So
because it has her diagnoses on those apps.
Well, literally,
he says he's looking at
zoomed in on
screenshot,
turned it around,
zoomed in, screenshot, send it, and he says you don't even have to send it on the internet. You can literally send it to your boss. The guy that's right here in the call with us. Just send it to him.
Right.
Send it to somebody that is a neutral party. Send it to a neutral party that you trust. And they will confirm or deny that it happened. And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. And each one of them, it went up to $85,000. So a bunch of them were offering $5,000 each for him to do it. And a retraction of them saying he didn't have cancer and calling him out on stuff. You know, the thing that Boogie wants. He wants people to lay off of him. Refuses. He goes, "That's the one thing I just won't do. That's the one thing I have. One piece of one thing that I have that is just for me. It is just for me." And then at one point,
cancer.
And this is what kills me.
Just for
right?
me.
It's just for him. Exactly. And then he goes, this drives me nuts. They're like, "Why won't you just take the money and win the argument? If you're telling the truth, it would be so easy to just take the money and just show everybody. No normal person wouldn't take $85,000. You literally said you scammed people for $10,000 for cancer treatments.
Right.
And here you are not taking $85,000 just to prove you have cancer."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I don't have any privacy." Yeah, "I don't have any privacy." I'm like, that's your fault. You did that.
Yeah. Oh, don't you love people that go online and become online personalities and then complain about a lack of privacy? Hey, let me do a 24-hour webcam where I'm gonna fucking tell you everything going on in my life, but I don't have any fucking privacy. You dumb. So he's as dumb as you're talking about.
But again, I refuse to call him dumb.
You might even say he's got
in the way that he wants.
He's got boogie brains.
he boogies for brains.
For brain. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. God damn it! I ruined it.
So he's like, nope, that's just for me. It's just for me to have. So I need that little bit of privacy. And it's like, okay, so you're saying you want privacy. And he goes, well, there are obviously things we don't know about you. Oh, you want to know something else I don't know about me? People think that I hurt my girlfriend, but in actuality, she was beating me. Like, we didn't know that. Why couldn't you just do that with the cancer thing and then not tell this story? Have something for you that isn't an incriminating story. And then Boogie took his clothes off. Like you are having such a... really having...
Why?
Because again, he
was he going to show his cancer?
He has a humiliation fetish. And he's lying. He's straight up lying. There's no way he's not.
Oh my god, these are complexities I can't digest in my brain.
He's dealing with it in a way where he's like, well, I'm going to embarrass myself in the ways that I'm used to. Because now, people knowing that I'm a liar is one thing. People knowing that I'm lying about having cancer for 2 years, where I was getting some sympathy, like some genuine sympathy, is not.
No.
Because now I have a guy who actually has terminal cancer calling me out. And God. And now I have the finance guy going, no, you're lying about your cancer. And even the finance guy wasn't really saying that. He was just saying you need to pay that money back. He goes, no, I'm not going to pay that money back. It's like, you are the bad guy and you don't have an out. And that's what's bothering you so much.
Yeah, if people like it, keep giving it attention
and you're used
anyway.
To being a clown.
You know?
Yeah. And he's used to being a clown. And so he says he's going to quit the internet. This man tweets like 30 times a day.
He's quitting the internet just,
he's quitting the internet cold turkey.
Except the things that he likes to do over and over again every day.
He can't quit food. He definitely sounds like somebody with a drug or like a gambling habit.
His pants are falling off. Sorry.
It's just and then his girlfriend comes on and they ask her a question and she just stupidly comes up and she's like, well, if he says he doesn't want to do it, I have to stand by him. Well, you're not his wife. You're not his pet.
You're a man.
And then he starts suicide baiting, which is the worst. He's like, well, you'll find out when I'm dead.
Oh, God.
You'll find out when I'm dead.
All right, that's a whole...
I'm just like...
That's the line you can't cross. That's the...
You can't. You dealt with that personally.
That's a different line. Like, there's a line, and then that's a whole different... That's like, you've already crossed the line. Now you've crossed the line where I just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. I was watching it, and I was watching the stream, and I was just like, you know what, buddy? Just do it. You bring no value to anyone.
Just do it.
Just do it. I don't care. Make me call... And I know this has nothing to do with how the web the show feels. This is just, for me, when people go to that length, I just like you now put me in a place where I have to not care about you as a human being.
Agreed. Absolutely.
That's how I feel. You put me there. And it's not like he was doing it because, he was immature. He's an immature child. He's a 50-year-old man.
Right. Yeah,
he's not a child. He's not terminally ill. He's literally doing it to make people stop asking, not even calling him out, stop asking him to prove what he is saying. Because he went every route he could. He was like, well, I hope people find out from this, take a lesson from me. That thing he likes to do, where it's just like, don't mess up like I did. Like, learn this lesson from me. If you say anything about the internet, if you divulge any personal information, you have to be able to prove it. And at some point, people were like, yes.
Yes, when you take money from other people, yes.
Exactly. Yes. If you say it, people should not have to believe you. People have a right to actually question you.
Right.
Over believing you.
Yeah. When you take money from somebody, they have a right to question.
Exactly.
The veracity.
If you ask not even money, anything.
Word. Yeah, the veracity.
If you ask anything of anybody. Yeah, I think it's veracity.
Veracity.
He's looking it up.
Veracity. No, that's not the right word. It's veracity. There's
veracity.
There's veracity, which is like gluttonous, and then there's like veracity.
Oh, you were saying voracity.
I think I said vor. Yeah, veracity, not voracity.
Because vor is to eat.
Yeah, voracity is gluttonous. Veracity is.
Well, I mean, you know what? No. We're talking about Boogie. Voracity works.
They both work. Yay! I'm right either way. Anyway,
but yeah, it's just this man. Like the fact that I was like getting some. I've been in last few episodes. I haven't been able to like hide it very well, but I've been in a really bad like mental spot, and this gave me like such evil, sadistic pleasure because it was pure, unadulterated catharsis. There was just nothing else to it. In its rawest form. It was just like, this dude absolutely just deserves it. And we're watching him flounder. Now, do I find it frustrating that he just won't admit it? Yeah. Because you would think, I like to see people go, I'll do better, or I'll try to do better, and admit their faults. Ultimately, and I don't mean backhandedly. I mean, like, to really mean
genuinely,
it. Especially if you're somebody who feels like you could talk to people in some kind of teachable role. Like, I'm not perfect. I messed up.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do in the moment, but he's had weeks to do it.
Yeah, it's nice. Look, it's nice for people to have self-realization and to watch somebody come to grips with who they are. But it's also a lot of fun to watch them fall on their face, too. So,
oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm fine with either one.
Absolutely, yeah. But watching it, I just got such sadistic glee out of watching it. Like, I was just, before we went on, I was just watching Nicholas Diorio's video on it because he was one of the guys that went on to the panel.
I get it.
I was just watching it again.
Oh.
I was just like...
This can tie in so well.
Life sucks right now. I want to see it.
There's so many of these topics we've touched on so far could tie so well into our topic for today, and yet I'm not ready to go there. You didn't watch Mr. Beast's new video, did you? He said...
I don't watch Mr. Beast.
I don't either, but he's got a new video.
I didn't even know I didn't know he had a new video.
He got 50 YouTubers together to compete against each other, but he had them competing against each, and he had like Pokimane, Mark Rober, Logan Paul, KSI Speed, like all these like legit YouTubers.
All the people I hate.
Yes. I like Mark Rober, but I like Mark Rober. I don't know who that is. He's an engineer. He does lots of engineering videos.
Okay,
where he does really.
Yeah, you just said a lot of names I didn't like in a.
Yeah, I know. Most of those are. But here's the thing that got me. The prize was $1 million, but it was for your subscribers or a subscriber. So like,
don't let Logan get it, or they'll never get that money.
Well, he was like, I watched the full video. So I watched the whole video, and he was a dick. Logan Paul was a dick. He was definitely just trying to win the money because he's an asshole. But like they all were trying to win this money for their subscribers, and I was just like, I don't know about this. I don't like this idea in general. And I guess I don't remember the name of the person that won, but she was like an art YouTuber, and she said she was going to pay for some of her subscribers to go to art college, which is great. Like that's cool. But I don't know. I was just like $1,000 to give to subscribers.
I would like an institute or a program that the money doesn't go to the winner. It would go to that program that will then do that thing.
Well, that's what
because I don't trust any of those YouTubers to do that.
That's what I thought they were doing at first. At first, I thought it was like they were playing for a charity or an organization or something. Yeah. Like they do with celebrities. These are celebrity YouTubers. They're making bank. Mm-hmm. They don't need the money.
Yeah. They don't need that money at all.
But nope.
Why not Mr. Beast just do subscribers?
You would think.
I know that's his thing and he always does it. But have him do it for subscribe.
I don't know.
And I know it brings traction when you have all those big names and there's a bunch of bots and a bunch of kids that are going to be watching.
That's why I watched it. I watched it because I was like, oh, I recognize 2 or 3. Marquis Brownlee was on there. He's the dude that does the tech videos. I don't know if you know him. Like, I like him. I like Mark Rober. But that's why I watched it. I was like, oh, I like actually watch and like some of these YouTubers that I regularly follow. Anyway, it was interesting. It was just a random side comment.
So, speaking of, like, YouTuber and going off of lolcows, this is somebody who's in between those two. And is a red pill guy.
Oh, God. Which one?
His name is Donovan Sharp.
I don't think I know that name.
He used to be buddies with, I think, Myron from Fresh and Fit.
I went down a little whatever podcast hole again a couple of weeks ago and watched a handful of those videos just going, what the fuck am I had to go and delete them all from my YouTube history because then it was just all conservative bullshit and my algorithm. So I had to go back and delete them out of my history. But yeah, so I went down a little rabbit hole myself recently on this topic, but go ahead.
Well, first of all, I was so inspired that I started writing.
That's a lot of text.
I got inspired. I am definitely going to be doing a skit as this guy.
Okay.
First of all, I call him Red Pill Carlton because that's who he is to me.
Red Pill Carlton.
That is just I can't think of anything else beyond that's what he is. His name is Donovan Sharp. He I'll tell you something, chap. He talks a lot like this. This is how he is, man. He just talks like that, and he laughs like Seth Rogen. It's great.
I'm looking up a picture of him here. All right, go ahead. Yeah. Keep going.
And his whole thing was like he used to talk down about women a lot, which I mean they all do.
Black guy with a big beard and a shaved head.
Yeah.
Oh, that hairline's not natural. Also, that is tattooed.
It's not. No. It's totally fake.
That is a fake hairline.
But everything about him is fake. Actually, so
that's the worst hairline I've ever seen, and it's fake. How can your hairline be that bad when it's fake? Like it's either tattooed on or I used a Sharpie. I don't. How could it be that bad? Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. It was.
I can't. Like.
So Donovan Sharp, they're talking about women. He's just like, if you see an older woman, I'm telling you right now, she's ran through.
She's been run through like a freight train through Oklahoma. I don't know.
I don't mess with women that are anything lower than a 9. And that's just how he talks. He's like, and they always have to be young.
How's that math work when anything that's a 9 or above won't mess with you?
Well, right? But and if you're an older woman,
creates a pool of 0 people.
I'm telling you, if you are an older woman, single mom, you're out of the game. You're past your prime. And that's just how he is, right?
But he's an old man, but he's fine. He's not out of the game. He's totally in his prime.
Oh no, he's the best.
He's the best shit ever. But if you're his age and you're a female, you're out of your prime.
This man is the patron saint of fake it till you make it.
His dick looks like
although he's never made it.
His dick looks like a fucking Slim Jim beef jerky. But if you're his age and you're a woman, you're out of the game.
But people go to find out that his girlfriend, now wife, one is older than him and a single mom.
His balls touch his heels. His balls touch his heels. But he's not out of the game. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
What, you never heard of Skip It?
He can use his scrotum as a parachute, but he ain't out of the game. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, his girlfriend is older than him. His girlfriend, now wife, is older than him and a single mother. So that.
But she's not past her prime.
So, no. She's his words. She's a genetic freak.
He found the anomaly. Oh.
And he paid for her fake chest. And mind you, on his stream, he's like, oh, show the people show. No, look them
show them titties, woman.
Look, those are perfect. Best titties money can buy. Like that's just
best titties money can buy.
He is ridiculous. Here's and so during my little skit that I'm going to do a little preview here.
Right, go ahead.
This is
I won't interrupt. I promise.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. I gotta find it so you could. But
that's exactly what I said. His pool of his pool of potential mates and his potential mates pool don't match. So therefore, there's zero. So he's building his own woman to fit his ridiculous fucking standards. He's gonna build his own woman here.
Oh, he also has this weird thing where he has to like put a woman in their place. That's like his thing, like his real thing. So it's not an actual direct quote, but it's just a gist of the way he was acting. So his wife comes into the room off screen. Excuse me? A grown man is speaking to his internet friends. No. You're going to stay here and let me check you in front of them. How else will they know I have big, sweaty, milky balls?
Wait, that's a real quote? That wasn't a real quote?
No. But part of it was. It was the
milky balls part.
He was talking about his wife. His wife was coming to see who was at the door. It was like an Amazon driver or something. And he got the door. He was talking to the Amazon driver, and she walks up and asks like what it's for, and he checks her. He's like, no, that's not how we do this. And then when he was questioned about it, he goes, well, no, because the Amazon driver had to see that I was the man in charge. What would it look like if he watched me just let her do whatever she wanted?
Wait, because she got the package from the driver?
She didn't even get the package. She just asked what it was while the driver was there.
Oh, okay.
And it was just like, why do you, as a man, care what that other man who you don't know thinks? He's not thinking anything of you. He's thinking about going home and checking off. Yeah, he does not care.
He just wants to end his shift. He's tired of pissing in bottles. He wants to get home.
He wants to go home. What? You mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on forever about people worrying about other people they will never see again in their lives' opinions of them, but...
But the big thing that with Donovan was that his wedding. I'm not even going to bring that up in a skit. But his wedding... He had a wedding. It was the most pathetic thing ever. Everybody, please. Actually, if you type Donovan Sharp, the next word usually that pops up is wedding on YouTube.
Oh, I'm on Google.
I don't know if it'll show up on Google.
Donovan Sharp.
Wedding's like the first thing to pop up.
Oh, it's on there, but I also have wife.
Well, because people were researching his wife.
Wife, real name. Anyway, go ahead.
But now that's because you're looking on Google.
Oh,
right?
I want to see his wife. Yeah, I'm looking on Google. Wait, is this his wife?
No. He
is it this white lady?
Is she yes, is she a 10?
No, she's not a 10.
Is she a 10?
No, she's not a 10.
She's not a 10. Mind you, I wouldn't even care about rating a woman like that. Yeah,
those are clearly fake titties.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't care about rating a woman like that. But here's the problem.
How old is she?
She enables. She's like 42.
She doesn't look that old, but okay, go ahead.
But she's older than him. But regardless, she looks like somebody's auntie.
Oh, never mind. That was just a decent picture. That was probably photoshopped up picture.
She looks like somebody's aunt. She enables that nonsense and then lets him judge other people's wives. So she can get it too. She can get all the insults.
Why does he have a necklace of handcuffs? What's that all about?
I think that was like in the protest of the being a dominant man. It was being a dominant man thing.
Oh, this is a picture of him with Pearl.
Pearl.
Shithead Pearl. Oh, I don't even want to talk about her.
They're all part of that crew. They're all part of that crew, and they're all pathetic. Pearl is super pathetic too. No wonder they're friends.
Pearl is the most pathetic woman on earth. No doubt about that.
But it's just like the brain rot is real.
I'm pretty sure she's a grifter. I think she's full of absolute dog shit. No.
She is a grifter, but here's the thing: she is pathetic. She herself is pathetic.
By being a grifter,
it's not like she's living a lavish life by playing a character.
No, I'm saying by being a grifter and being this person, I don't think she's pathetic. Absolutely.
Because with Pearl, I feel like she doesn't necessarily believe what she's saying.
Oh, that's in my search history now. Fuck.
Yep, but she's willing to go against any internal beliefs she has.
Right.
In order to be liked by somebody,
I guess,
and make money. Because let's not pretend that she doesn't want to make money.
Well, of course she wants to make money.
Off of the grift, not necessarily make money. Because again, making money is not a bad thing in and of itself, but grifting people is.
Yes, agreed. Saying you have cancer to get people to give you money is. lying and making up a bunch of bullshit to get people to hate watch you or to inflame the mindset of people who already have a stupid fucking thought in their head. That is bad ways to make money. Yes.
Yep. Awful. And you know what? It's not bad ways to make money as in like you're not going to make money off of it because the vast majority of people are stupid. I'm sorry. And I don't mean like you're like, dang, don't know how to live kind of stupid. I literally mean like you don't think past your initial knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
And then you just go with it.
No, agreed.
So ultimately, yeah, you can make money off of it, but you're a piece of garbage for doing it.
Oh, yeah. 100%. That's what it boils down to.
And it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable unless you keep shifting the goalpost, so to speak. So
yeah, you're always going to have to keep
one-upping yourself. That's why everything's
crashing
crashing around us anyway.
You got to keep one-upping yourself every 5 fucking minutes. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Anything else you wanted to chat about before we get into our topic for this wonderful episode?
We're just going to continue our tour through Clown World.
Yeah, Clown World indeed.
It's time to begin the complaining.
Were you just shouting over that?
No, I was coughing.
Okay, I'm going to leave that in. Our topic this week is political rhetoric because it just seems appropriate. We've got 2 major stories going on right now. We've got, and some would say that one was intentional to cancel out the other, but we've got a current president who's under siege for his terrible debate performance since we've not talked about, been on the podcast since then, and is just, I don't even know what to say. Just it's just such a mess. And we've got another former president who was attempted to be killed just the other day. So we want to talk about political rhetoric and how ridiculous it is and how these inflammatory things that we say and post online and talk about are legitimately changing the physical reality we live in. And it's bad.
And it's all harmful. It's never good.
No, none of it's good. We've shifted from a time period when, in our lifetime where people got on the stage and they made jokes. They debated each other about like boring ass shit. I forget, this might be from Bill Maher too. I forget who I was listening to the other day who was saying that politics should be boring. Like, it should be fucking boring. They should be having a conversation about what's the best way to make sure Americans have decent health care.
Politics should never be entertaining.
It shouldn't be entertaining.
You're absolutely right. It should not be entertaining. And I was like, well, how else do you get people to pay attention to vote? Like, you know what? I'm starting to think Rock the Vote was a mistake.
No, you don't want people to pay attention if they're not interested. You don't want to make it a fucking game show so that people get interested. Yeah. If the people are not interested when it's boring, actual stuff that matters, fine. Don't count them. If they don't know what's going on and they can't speak coherently on a topic,
because
that's fine.
The mass majority shouldn't be throwing their two stupid cents. I should not be arguing with somebody who believes the earth is flat.
No, you shouldn't.
About how the economic systems of the world work. I should not be having that argument with that person.
Let politics be boring as fuck so that the people who are talking about the best way to spend our infrastructure tax dollars are the people that actually give a flying fuck about that. And let those be the people that are interested and are going out and voting and actually making those decisions, not your average fucking meathead that's online going, yeah, fucking Trump, or yeah, fucking Biden, and doesn't give a shit or know a fucking thing about anything other than the team they're on.
Yeah, I'm going to get the elephant out of the room. Like, I'm going to mention the elephant in the room right now because we're going to bring it up anyway. The most disgusted thing that I saw online, because I decided I'm going to take a break off the internet for a little bit.
Man, that's good for your mental health.
After this, and it wasn't because of the shooting or anything. It was just like everything happening. Even like celebrity deaths, again, they don't necessarily bother me too much. Like, I'm generally sad, but like Richard Simmons dying and Shannon Doherty dying, and then I got some bad news personally that it's not like dour, but it was like gave me some bad news. And then the shooting happened, and the discourse behind that instantly popped up. Yeah. The most disgusting thing I saw was somebody go, "Man, Trump looks so badass. He is such a badass," and went. First of all, I should never call my president a badass. You could say they went to war. You could say they were a general. Calling him a badass is the badasses are usually never good people. Like, I'm sorry, you could say, "Oh, my uncle was a badass," and how many times has he been to prison?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like,
it's not
like badasses generally
not a presidential
are not good
quality,
and not a presidential quality at all. And two, it was very opportunistic. Yeah, it's very badass to get shot in the ear, the tip of the ear, and then to put your fist in the air. I'm more upset that, except for the very first time I heard somebody was killed, nobody's talking about the person who died.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that's been forgotten.
That person just they don't care. Oh, that's just a statistic now. I want to know about the person who was unfortunate enough. And you don't have to give me a bibliography on it, but just a hint of compassion. But compassion is not part of the Trump base.
Yeah, but it's not.
And you know what? Even by the Democratic base, they didn't care. Okay, nobody brought up.
I was going to give you the other side of the argument,
no,
too.
No. I was going to say, they didn't bring it up because they're just as bad. Right. And I've been saying it for a while. They're just as bad. You guys are playing card games and arguing about statistics when somebody had their head blown off, essentially. Or killed. I don't know how they were killed.
Shot in the head.
I just know that they died. And someone else... Yep. Great. And was it 2 injured? And I don't know if they mentioned that Trump was the one that was injured.
Oh,
so
is that
I was always thinking 3 people.
Oh, okay, got it.
But I know it was somebody was injured. From what I heard, was Trump got shot. 1 injury, 1 death.
Okay,
that's what I heard. So I assumed 3 people.
I assumed incorrectly too. So okay.
So I don't know if Trump was the one that would be considered as the one injured. I don't know.
Okay,
that.
I don't know either.
And I'm too stressed to dig further into it. But all I know is I was heartbroken when I was like, somebody died, and it's just like, well, fuck that guy. Because at least when Kennedy was shot, Kennedy was shot.
Isn't that the worst part of it? I mean, so I'm in my little. Again, I don't consider myself a liberal. I would say I'm left of center if I had to make an observation. But I have my little liberal Facebook group I'm in because one time on Facebook on a public group I posted something somewhat liberal opinion, and I got invited to be in this little liberal Facebook group in our community. Because our community is predominantly, I would say, conservative and rural, right? I mean, would that be fair to say?
Yeah, that's
so. There's these, but there's these little group of that are like, we're the good ones, we're the good people, we're the kind-hearted people, we're the ones that care. Well, dude, not an hour after this, I go on Facebook and I see posts on this Facebook group, and they're like, "Oh, they missed. He missed.
Yeah, that's so gross.
But not only, and I wrote like, it's not really funny. Like, I don't think anybody.
Don't tell me they demonized you for that.
I was demonized. I basically just said like, murder's not funny. Well, when somebody is this terrible and wants to disenfranchise everybody in America and is a giant threat to our democracy and wants you dead, you should want them dead too. Trump doesn't want you dead, buddy. He doesn't give a fuck about you.
He doesn't care
about you. You're just some asshole. Does he want to disenfranchise you, or does he want you dead, or does he not care about you, which is the more likely of the 3, right? But yeah, I got demonized, and I was like, well, time for me to leave this group again.
Yeah, because they're all cancer.
But
all of
your
them are
point
cancer.
What about this guy that died? That's to them. He's a Trump supporter. Fuck that guy. He was at a Trump rally. He deserves to die, which is disgusting. But this is a Facebook group where their fucking cover photo is a word cloud of a heart shape that says community, humanity, respect, friendship, love, peace. Where is all that right now? I thought you were supposed to be the side of...
You can still say, like, you know what? I don't agree with this person, but they didn't deserve to die.
Yeah.
No, you're just as disgusting as the other side. You are part of the problem. Just like you say do better to other people, that is what you
then you get Biden that comes on and he does his little speech on it, and he talks about turning down the political rhetoric heat in our nation. I'm like, buddy, you were just on a stage a week ago or 2 nights ago. You were on TV talking about how
I'll keep fighting.
Our democracy is at stake. Our country is on the line. You're making people think they're very.
You're playing the game too.
You're telling people their very life is at stake. Their very way of being is at stake.
God.
And then you're surprised when something like that happens after the fact. And then you have the fucking nerve to get on TV and tell other people to turn down the political rhetoric after you've said all this shit. Fuck you.
First of all, Biden doesn't remember what he says like 30 seconds after he says it.
He was reading off the teleprompter, and he said former Trump. It's not former President Trump, just former Trump.
Yeah.
Can't even read.
Here's the thing. You saying that put it all into perspective for me. It was like, Trump, I'm going to drain the swamp. And Biden, like, we're going to clean up we're going to clean things up, and we're going to cut down the political rhetoric. They're saying the exact same thing. The fact that Trump, the first things he said was fight.
Right.
After he was saying, fight. I'm like, first of all, fighting is what caused you to lose a piece of your ear.
Yeah, you dumb fuck.
That is the problem, is because fighting doesn't, fighting is an instinct that is needed for survival, but not needed for a societal usage. No. Like, especially during politics.
Fighting has no business in politics. Violence and fighting are very, very equivalent in my head.
If you want to argue this, okay, so you want to go back to the point when Andrew Jackson went up to a man and beat him with a cane. That's what you want. That you want a president like
Alexander Hamilton getting shot in a duel.
Because we want things like that. That's because that was what politics was. What is wrong with you? And just like you said earlier, people who were lynching people during like segregation, they are still alive. Yeah. They're still around. They had kids.
Yep.
Those kids are alive.
They made more little mutant monsters.
Like, you're telling me right now that you are, and I'm sorry, this has to be because I ran into like this racist guy online that just blew my mind to the point that I couldn't even respond.
Yeah.
That was one of the other things that was bothering me. Because he was just like, well, if you people are like that, that's what you people are like.
If that isn't a nothing burger of a statement, I don't know.
It was a nothing burger of a statement. That's why I was so blown away by it. It was like, I know that you have to be a bot. You like a troll.
It's very possible.
Because there's just no possible way that you had nothing to say and you're insinuating this big bad thing when quite literally your president was shot by a white guy.
Yeah.
What are you people like?
Yeah.
You guys literally beat each other with cane. Like, why are we all subject matter experts to the degree that we think that the first thought we have is the smartest thought?
It's the first thought we have is the smartest thought, and the thought of the moment is the smartest thought. Whatever, it's a moving narrative, and whatever it is right now, that's the most sensible thing, and then 10 minutes from now, it's going to be something different.
And mind you, I wasn't even offended by the video. The video I saw was like, it was definitely trying to politically push people, but it was like this old South African white dude in a motorized wheelchair. Like the man looked like he was gonna die every like third breath. But he was so like this happily racist old man.
Funny, then.
Oh yeah, the black people, they commit the violence and they're ugly. And there's this black woman dressed up like ugly. A clown. Yeah, and this black woman dressed up like a clown, and she was like had blonde hair and paint all over. I don't know why, but she looked stupid. And she's like,
clown face.
But right? I'm one of you. She's just like, but I'm a white woman. I have the blonde hair. Like, she was acting a fool too, but she was like asking really quick racist questions, and people were in the comment section because I know I torture myself.
It's my fault. You in the comment section. Jesus Christ. For me, it's Twitter.
I just do it to myself.
X. No, fuck that. But we dead name Twitter. It's Twitter.
But that's why I'm leaving the internet for a bit. Like one person goes, why are they platforming a man like this? Well, I feel like it's ultimately for the people who says, man, it's 20x. This is actually another political thing that I had to grow up with my entire life hearing, like from politicians. The year and people online, it's the year is 20XX or the year is 19XX. Racism doesn't exist anymore. We're more understanding. Like, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. We're not. That's why. This is to remind you people that just because you cover your eyes doesn't mean the car is not going to hit you if you stand in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah,
You're still there. Just
because people aren't necessarily swinging from trees doesn't mean it hasn't propagated itself into other ways and shapes and forms that exist out there.
Like,
you know?
So, and the thing is so race is so easy because it's so easy to talk about because we talk about it all the time.
Right.
Some of us are even addicted to it. I can't say that I'm not because it comes up constantly in my life.
Sure.
But, and sometimes by me, sometimes by others. But, so, so it's easy to say that, but it's not necessarily race itself. It's this mindset we have towards any personal like comfortability that we want. So none of these people say it with their chest, the bad thing, because they know it's bad, but they still want it. So they know it's bad to hurt others or to say, well, if he wants to destroy our infrastructure and hates women because he voted for XYZ bill, he deserves to get shot. It's the wrong thing. It's the wrong thing, but you're excusing it because this guy has bad policies. Right. Well, maybe you should pressure your base.
It's not only that, though,
into doing the right thing, because we didn't have to vote for Biden the first time. Right. Because we shouldn't have. The man was a clown.
Look,
he wasn't making sense before he was elected.
I've said this a million times. Look, Trump was elected president. He was the president for 4 years. Yep. Everybody said the world was going to end.
And it did.
He lost the election, and granted, he was a fucking sore loser about it, but that's really what it was. He was a sore loser, and he didn't come out and go, I lost this election. But Biden went into the White House, everything, they say, people, and maybe I'm simplifying it, people talk about it, and they're like, well, there was no peaceful transition of power. So it's like, I think there was. He just was a sore loser and wouldn't go on TV and go, no, I lost.
No, I mean, I disagree with you. Because the Capitol riot did happen.
All right. Okay. I'm
just saying.
Hold on.
You are so wrong.
Let me fix my statement. If you
I'm just saying.
Let me fix my statement. All right. So I forgot about that.
But they wanted you to. They want you to forget about that.
Let's say you put a big Band-Aid over that part. But that was like a bunch of dumb fucks, right? That was just a bunch of dumb fucks. I'm talking about Trump himself here, Trump the person. If he wins again, he'll be president for 4 years. People will bitch and complain. Nothing will really change because nothing ever really changes. And then he'll be done in 4 years and somebody else will be president. I don't see him trying to continue to be president. He's going to be like 83.
Here's the thing that I disagree with you on, because it's not him. Everybody focuses on him. And I'm so sick of that.
You're right.
Don't focus on him, because he didn't get worse. He stayed the same. What did get worse? Look at what has happened to the Republican Party.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Look at what happened to them. They've become fractured and way more crazy. Look at the weird racists that are in his base. They've gotten way worse and way more ballsy with what they do, because they want the world to be a way that they want to be. The fact that he does want to push for a more lefties just ruin this word, but like fascist state. Like policies like that have been happening. I'm sorry, the Roe v. Wade thing is a big deal.
It is, yeah.
And so things have happened. I'm not saying it hasn't happened under Biden.
Biden's not going to fix that.
But I'm saying,
like, him becoming president's not going to fix that.
Because he should have never been president.
Yeah.
Biden should never should have been president. I don't care who else would have been, but Biden was a terrible choice.
He was going to be a bridge president for the new generation. It was supposed to only be one term. So he's grabbing for power too. That motherfucker refuses to just be like, all right, I did my term.
Biden did the same thing he did when he was the head of, what was it, the Supreme Court?
I don't know.
Or he was supposed to be the mediator of it. He was supposed to be something like that, along with Clarence Thomas and all of them. He did the same thing. He's snaky garbage bull crap. The problem with Biden is that people liked Biden because he was cool with Obama.
Right.
Only reason why anybody liked him, because he didn't do anything as vice president.
Well, no, vice president typically doesn't do too much.
Doesn't do anything. That's what I'm saying. They don't have to. The only vice president I've ever known to do anything was Vice President Palpatine. That was the only one.
He wasn't vice president, was he? That was Grand Chancellor.
No. I'm I'm talking about George Bush's vice president.
Oh, literal.
The one that
Cheney.
the one that shot Cheney, the one that shot a man in the face and then made that man apologize to him.
You were
that
being metaphorical. Okay.
Yes. He reminds me of Palpatine too. There are a lot of Palpatines in politics.
A lot of those old white guys with thinning hair.
But yeah, Cheney, then the man, I that's the one thing I really remember Cheney for, was literally shooting a man in the face
with
and then having that man apologize to him.
I'm sorry, I got in the way of your shotgun.
Just like,
look, man, I never should have walked in front of your shotgun. That was my bad.
Man, I should have chose the brighter orange.
As he's picking birdshot out of his ass cheeks.
Out of his face. It's his face. I think it was his face. I think he got shot in the face.
I think you're right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Picking him out of his... Got birdshot his teeth.
Just like... He has to look in the mirror every day and go, man.
Dick Cheney did this to me.
That was awesome. Like, no, he's such a butt kisser.
You're probably right. You're probably right. He probably wears it like a scar of pride tattoo.
So, but like, this has been a clown show. Okay, so I've noticed, at least with political rhetoric and things like that, because even with Al Gore, I wanted to punch him I was a child. I wanted to punch this man in the face because of the whole Florida recount thing. I didn't understand it then. I don't care to look back on it now as an adult. But as a kid, I'm just like, well, why? What's the problem with the recount? Why is it that they just can't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? What's the problem here? And if there isn't, he bowed out before they counted again. If they have to count again, that means something was wrong again. Yeah. Why did he bow out?
I don't know.
It never made sense to me.
Still different,
and he just fed a bunch of. He fed a bunch of. I'm not saying it. I'm not even saying that George Bush cheated. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that was weird, and not even on Bush's side, but on, because I kind of didn't hate Bush. He was what I expected of a Bush. He
was fine terrorism. Everybody liked him. Mission accomplished. Mission completed.
From Al Gore, because I don't trust the Democratic base at all, because they're basically just the get out racists. Remember, I'm oversimplifying by using race because race is very easy to use, but they are the get out racists.
Yeah,
they want to be, because the villains in Get Out would have won, but they had to do extra to not feel like what they're doing, the bad thing that they were doing, was bad. And they let the racist son do whatever he wanted because they were having issues with like how to deal with, his outward racism by just ignoring it. That's why I always imagine that essentially, like when we talk about the elephant and the donkey, those motherfuckers are married.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when we talk to mommy elephant or daddy elephant or daddy donkey, ultimately,
that's what my wife calls me.
Ultimately, they're just playing each other towards the middle. I don't think that they're in cahoots necessarily, but they're definitely trying to do the exact same thing. Just one thinks that, oh, well, if I don't say the bad part out loud, they won't notice. And the other one's saying, if I throw enough bullshit at everyone, they'll just ignore all the other stuff. Which that strategy is the one that's working.
Yeah, it is working. Unfortunately.
Because people are getting overwhelmed with so much, they get stuck in the minutia of the things that are not important. I'm sorry, the important part about Trump getting shot was that he receives medical help, and that person, the shooter, was killed, and that we understand the person that got shot.
The word is neutralized, okay? That's the word you're supposed to use.
Oh, I'm sorry. The threat was neutralized.
Which I still haven't heard the details of. I read somewhere that he shot himself. I read somewhere Secret Service shot him.
Yeah, I
don't know.
The thing is, and here's another thing we need to focus on. The fact that the news hit so fast, like people were so fast to create things. It wasn't like these people are finding this opportunity to like post as many of that Trump fist picture. Not even people who trust or love Trump or want to promote Trump or anything like that. The fact that 50 Cent had a picture of Trump with Trump's head on his body with the song that he played after he recovered from being shot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did that real quick.
Thing.
But like
everybody sees that picture, but the picture right before it was him cowering on the ground.
But that's what I'm saying. But nobody's going to put that one up.
But I'm saying that was the picture
you can say
before.
the Dems could do it all they want, but it doesn't matter because it's how the news cycle works. But people want to be swept up by the news cycle.
I'm just saying there's two sides, you know. That was the picture after everything was resolved.
But nobody cares about that.
The picture before that was him on the ground cowering with Secret Service trying to surround him.
Look, the two sides of a cow pie is still a shit.
Right.
Chip.
Oh, no, agreed. I'm just making the point. I'm just making the point that, like, you know, you could have taken either one of those photos and put it at...
Yeah. And it could have been just whoever got to it fast, but it happened so quickly.
It did. Yeah.
Like, it was so fast that maybe, just maybe, we should have stopped and going, I know it's funny. I think it's funny. I'm going to keep that for me. It's just going to be for me. It's going to be for me. Should have pulled the boogie and kept that to the chest. And like right now, we need to think about the things that are important because so many people are so busy trying to make jokes and trying to get their social media popping and whining about like the political aspects of it because that we're ignoring the fact that, and mind you, it hit me during like seeing it. There's another guy, I think the way you pronounce his name is Succo, Sucoo. He's a content creator I actually really like. He seems like a really laid back guy. He's a truck driver. He posted it up and he was just like, the shooter gave us like one of the best pictures of all time. So if you think that Trump won, he did because of this. And I commented like, you can't beat good branding.
Right.
Which, in my opinion, is true.
No, I agree.
But then I realized that, oh no, he didn't only get shot. Somebody died.
Yep.
And this is what we're focusing on. Somebody died. Like, maybe this person wasn't the target to be assassinated, but he was assassinated.
Not just died, was fucking had his head blown off.
Yep. And I know this is going to get out there. Somebody in the Republican base, if they were smart, and they're probably going to do it, going to use that person as a martyr for Trump's cause. I'm sure it'll happen. Which is going to be even more disgusting because nobody should do that for this person. No. They should never bring... most they should say is this person was at the rally when they got shot, and then we should memorialize this person who didn't need to die.
Agreed.
For the political view. And you could give all the rhetoric in the world. You can say all the shit you can on the internet that you want about it. You are a piece of garbage for even just ignoring the fact that this person was killed. Not even using
I agree.
Just ignoring the fact that they were killed.
I agree. I agree with you completely. 100%. It's, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to...
But we're used to babies dying every school year, so...
That's true. We're kind of desensitized, aren't we?
We're Americans. This is how we don't care. It's cool. Let the Europeans make fun of us for it instead of, being any kind of helpful.
No. Well, we're not, we don't get anything done that matters. We get done, what did Congress get done, like one thing this year or something like that, or last year?
Yep. Yep.
Literally one bill.
So when Trump gets reelected and then puts in a bill to make himself God, King, Emperor of the United States for the next 6 years that he's going to be alive. He's super old. I'm sorry. I don't think he has 6 more years.
Yeah, me neither.
Especially after this, he's going to start having PTSD, and that's going to put a lot of strain on his heart.
Diet, you know.
Yeah, no, he's going to have a lot of PTSD, and it's going to he's going to swallow it all down and act like there's nothing wrong. Because I doubt he goes to therapy, and he's going to have a heart attack.
That, but he does say he's 6'3" and weighs 225 pounds. So. He's apparently perfect height and weight.
And he's a great dancer. So with that being the case, I feel like when he becomes president, and the next step past Roe v. Wade is that, actually eugenics really is a thing.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go that far.
No, this is hyperbolic, but
I know you're being hyperbolic.
I feel like you feeling that way, you're missing the point that we are already past the point of what other people were saying. That's never going to happen.
It's not that's never going to happen.
So
I feel like he'll become president again.
And it's not him. It's not him. It's not him. Remember, he's going to be president and whatever. It's the people that move all the wheels. All those people that feel more empowered by being able to do the crazy shit that they do. And say the crazy shit that they say. I feel like those are the ones that are going to make these things happen because, again, we never thought that women's rights were going to be taken away.
Sure.
We never thought that the court could just override scientists based on how they feel and not. Oh, have you heard about that?
Yeah.
The
Chevron.
They based on how they. Yeah, the Exxon Chevron.
Yeah, Chevron. The Chevron.
And mind you,
deference.
Yeah, my wife put it to me because she works in the courts, and I agree with her to a degree. Yes, but it also doesn't mean that you can hire a scientist to just agree with what the company wants. And you know what? That means it was broken to begin with. But now we're to the point that the people who are making the rules are just, I feel this way, and that's what I want. It's going to be a guy who used to lynch people back during segregation, who's now sitting in the Supreme Court pretending that they were a good person all along, just making up rules based on how they feel, even though they can't. They shoot dust now and shouldn't care about the reproductive rights of anybody.
This is reminding me of this court case that came up on ICS recently. And I'm not going to go into detail because it was covered at length on ICS, but you got to look up the court case with Karen Reed, the murder trial.
Karen Reed, okay.
This woman was accused of... Okay, so she drops off her cop boyfriend at this known cop hangouts, this guy's house where all the cops go to hang out, like when they're not on duty.
Okay.
And leaves, and then he's found the next morning frozen to death in the snow. And they try to claim that she backed into him and killed him, and then he died in the snow. But like his phone was under. There's all this crazy shit. Like his phone's under him. All the cops that were there got rid of their phones at the next day, threw them out, got new ones.
Yeah, just all the suspicious nonsense.
They refurnished the basement. His step counter showed that he went up and down flights of stairs when he was supposed to be dead. His cell phone was under him, like when he was buried. And there were like numerous calls to the cell phone from the cops that were at the party. They were trying to find where the cell phone was. You gotta go in. It's fucking crazy.
Tell me this guy got drunk and they thought it would be funny to bury him in the snow.
I don't know. Nobody knows the truth. But the fact of the matter is, this woman's on trial for his death when there are all these fucking
all this evidence against the cops.
Crazy amount of evidence that shows, and I guess the judge is super shady in it too, and like won't let them have expert witnesses come in and to say like, there's no way this guy's bump on his head could have happened from a car rear-ending him. You got to go check into it. It's
what was her name again?
Reed. It's the craziest fucking shit.
That's awful.
Anyway,
that is
just made
ridiculous.
me think of courts being fucking ridiculous.
But that's my fear. And even though I agree with my wife's perspective on it, the fact that things like that can happen. You brought up a perfect example. Like, just the judge feels that way, so therefore...
It is what it is.
That's what it is. And, like, you literally were just a lawyer. Let's not forget, judges were lawyers. What, all of a sudden, like, lawyers were bad guys. Like, stereotypically, lawyers are bad guys. I don't care if the defense lawyers are not. They're bad people. They say hell's lined with lawyers, and all of a sudden that becomes all of a sudden they become a judge, and now they're just the upstanding like bright star. Are you serious right now? Are you serious?
It all goes away when you become a judge. You didn't know that? You get your angel wings.
It's absolutely
that's why they give them the robe.
They
give them the robe to hide their angel wings.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and the fact that we are so dumb. We, as a collective, are so dumb that we're just not, we don't question any of those things. We don't question the way we think about things. We want to question a million other things that will keep us from looking inward and going, wow, am I an idiot?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
If you're wondering. All right.
All right.
That's our show, folks. If you want to go and buy a t-shirt or send us an email or some shit, you can go to the website.
ATIWIHY.com.
Otherwise, boy.
Please tell me
stay away.
Please tell me I'm faking cancer. Email us and tell me I'm faking cancer.
Stay away from the internet. Let's all try to stay away from the internet a little bit, and
a break off the internet and politics would be
maybe
really
take a
nice.
break.
At least like a week.
Let's all try to do it. Let's all try to give ourselves a break. All right, that's all I got to say. Karen Reed.
That craziest. Hurts. Like you telling me that, I'm gonna look it up and
it's
cry.
It's the craziest fucking case I think I've ever seen. I mean, I could just give you the Ice Cream Social episode where they talk about it. You can listen to Paul give you the whole story.
That might make it easier to deal with.
It's actually more fun to listen to that way.
Okay. You do that.
Peace!